Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. As you can see from the title of this video, I will be giving my opinion on the latest set of text messages and audio that was revealed regarding or between Keke from Love and Marriage Huntsville and a blogger. So now before we get into some of the details and my opinion, I ask that you all please hit the like button on this video. It is a free way of supporting the channel. And when you hit the like button or even the dislike button, that will push this video through YouTube's algorithm, meaning that YouTube will recommend this video to more people who enjoy commentary surrounding the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I would love to have you. I do try to work hard at providing a variety of content, but the majority of my content is inspired by Love and Marriage Huntsville and its main focal star, Melody Cherie. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the reveal of the text messages and audio that was revealed tonight. First, I want to give a very brief recap of Keke Jabbar going live on New Year's Day. She was very fired up. She was yelling, she was cursing, and she said that she had never spoken anything negative about Melody to the said blogger. And she said, but watch, I know he's going to come out with something. I know, I'm just waiting on it. So that is what led to tonight's reveal. So on June the 3rd, also because Keke has denied leaking any information about the show to the blogger. She said that, her mom may have said some things, being very forward and forthcoming, but she said she has not. So what was revealed was a text message exchange on June the 3rd, where she asked the blogger to not allude to anything that happened on that day, which was the water toss at Kimmy and Maurice's house when they hosted a barbecue. And in their backyard, Keke tossed the water at Tisha. Apparently that happened on June the 3rd, 2023. And she asked the blogger not to allude to anything that happened on that day. So she would only have to ask him to not to allude to something if he was already privy to what happened. Also, he was saying in the text thread that he was just going to be done with giving commentary on the show. And she said, no, please hold on. Please keep reviewing the show because I need you for as long as you can do it. So she expressed that she needed him. Also, on June 13th, 2023, according to the text thread that was shown, she texted the blogger asking him to ask Queen Sheba what's her deal with Keke in terms of not liking her. So I would just want to say this, Keke, as a reality TV star of a very popular show, don't worry about it if someone does not like you. Also, us content creators, we're still viewers of the show. We are watching the episodes, and Queen Sheba's opinion, my opinion, everyone's opinion is that an opinion. And if I were you, I would just focus on trying to convince the network to let you tell your story of sobriety and your daily and weekly and monthly routines at maintaining that sobriety. Try and convince Carlos King how important that is, and definitely not worry about what content creators think of you. We're literally reviewing the show, which is in turn promotion and publicity for the show. Now, also allegedly, Keke asked the blogger about ideas for her to start a YouTube channel. She recommended to him about her content being centered around her going to various places around Huntsville, almost like a things to do, and she would give her commentary. And he was very forthcoming with her and said, the goal would be for you to generate income from your YouTube channel. And I don't think that anyone would care about, what are some things to do around Huntsville. We've even heard some of the cast say that, one of the residents' complaints is that there's not enough to do in Huntsville. So I felt like he did kind of was like a straight shooter and gave her some good, honest advice that she could actually use. So it sounded like she wanted to get into the YouTube sector and she was trying to figure out where she would fit. Because Keke is so wordy and verbose, and her background is being an English professor, if she were to step into the YouTube space, I would recommend that she would actually write documentaries from scratch. So she would provide the visuals, the sound bites, she would write her scripts explaining what happened. I could totally see her having like a documentary channel. The blogger asked Keke on June 14th, 2023, he asked her about if she's watching Wanda's YouTube lives because she was saying horrible things about her. And Keke responded with, oh yeah, and she's going to catch a lawsuit, so she was definitely aware of the content that her aunt was putting out regarding her. And at that point, obviously last summer, the blogger had a very good relationship with Keke because he was letting her know about things that were said about her on Wanda's channel. And, last summer, last June was literally just 7 months ago. Now, one thing that I noticed in the text threads that was revealed tonight is that Keke often referred to the blogger as babe and bro. And I just felt like she was a little too chummy with a blogger, for it to be a business relationship. When I think of words like babe and bro, of course, I think of someone that you could be dating, or maybe even someone who, they may be like your kid. And she may even say when she goes live on Instagram to react, she may say that she was calling him babe and bro because she thought of him as like a nephew or almost like a kid. But I just kind of felt like even still to use those pet names for a blogger of a reality TV show that you are starring on, I just kind of felt like that was, leaning towards a little inappropriate. Now, sometimes I wonder, just from looking at that text thread, some thoughts that came to my mind was, was she hoping that Anthony would mentor her towards building an additional stream of income? Just asking about ideas for a YouTube channel, and then probably seeing he has multiple streams of income. Was she hoping that perhaps he would volunteer his services to guide her, to mentor her, or was she leading up to that? That was a thought that crossed my mind. And then just with the pet names of babe and bro, I was wondering, like, did she find him attractive? I know that she spoke on, him struggling to keep a man. He even spoke on that and said that, he knows his worth and he just doesn't want to date just anyone, was what I was gathering from it. Definitely, if you're single, just like I've said on a previous video, I dated a guy that I met on plentyoffish.com. And I would always ask people that I met on the dating websites, what has been your experience on this site? And, he told me there is certainly a quantity of people out there to date, but the quality is totally different. So, but, sometimes I wonder, like, did she find the blogger to be attractive, or was it the constant texting something that could have, if she could have blindly, without realizing, subconsciously, almost kind of liked him or had like a little minor crush on him, little innocent puppy love. Sometimes, I that thought did cross my mind. She asked the blogger for someone to do her box braids for the reunion. And we saw in the preview for the reunion where she had like a cute braid bob, and it was like loose curly ends, it looked like. So she initially did ask for that referral. And that text thread was shown as well with prices, her Cash App for the deposit, to send to the hairdresser. Also, the blogger showed his text messages to Keke where he told her to stop making threats to someone. He did not specify who that person was. Offhand, I would just guess that it was perhaps Tisha, Marceau, or even Wanda. Out of the three of those, I would imagine she's most intimidated by Wanda if she were to be intimidated. So I would put her in last place that she would make threats to, but Tisha or Marceau, perhaps. Now, the blogger actually said that he only developed ill feelings towards Melody because of things that Keke told him about Melody. And he actually played a recording of himself and Keke talking. And he said that there was some truth to what Betty, Stormy's mom, said about Melody. I'm paraphrasing, he suggested, she throws rocks and hides her hand, speaking about Melody. And for most of the soundbite, Keke would just agree on a very non-aggressive way. She would just say, mm-hmm, uh-huh, mm-hmm, yeah, things like that. And then she at one point says that Melody knows how to play the game and she plays it well. Allegedly, there was a conversation between Keke and Melody about the possible paternity of one of Keke's kids. And we did not hear the conversation between those two women, of course, but Keke did say in her recorded conversation with the blogger that she had pause about Melody allegedly asking her to talk about that on the show, because she had paused because she wasn't sure if she should be grateful or if she should be offended by Melody allegedly asking her to talk about the paternity of her kid on the show. Keke said that Wanda was very adamant about Keke not speaking on the child on the show. And Keke said that later she realized it was because Wanda wanted to break that story herself. Oh my gosh, that's crazy that family members will want to out you. But we've seen this before, right? Like with Oprah Winfrey, when she was in her heyday as a talk show host, one of her family members sold a story to the tabloids that there was an unaliving of a baby, an embryo, when she was just a teenager. So then Oprah was forced to talk about that. So, oh my gosh, Wanda allegedly was okay with breaking that story, but did not want Keke to tell her own life story on the reality TV show, according to Keke. And the blogger said that he was trying to have a meeting with Melody to confirm Keke's claims. Now, the alleged claim that Melody approached Keke about sharing one of her kids' paternity on the TV show, that was what I think the blogger was stating was worse than Revenge P. In my opinion, I disagree. I don't think that possibly discussing a paternity of a child not having a different dad is worse than Revenge P. Both are very sad things that anyone would have to experience. I do feel like the difference is that Keke has more control over that narrative. Obviously, she didn't want to talk about it because it was not discussed during season 6 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Whereas if someone does Revenge P on you, you cannot control that. Them uploading the images and or video to various sites or sending it out to people that you know or posting it on their personal social media for people to view and then share on their social media, and then you are exposed. Revenge P is something that is out of your control. But someone being asked, do you want to talk about your child's paternity? That's totally different than revenge P. So I felt like what tonight's text thread and audio revealed is that she was definitely too chummy with the blogger. It does appear that, there was information leaked about the show before the episodes aired. And I think that there was a little admiration for his multiple streams of income, and she was hoping that perhaps he could help her in that regard. And, I'll always feel uncomfortable about the recording of conversations because, like, for such things to be shared, it's because the person feels comfortable with you. It sounded like, because we did not hear the conversation where she told him that Melody approached her about the child's paternity. The recording that we heard was like a reaction, if you will, after, or perhaps he just didn't play the part where she said that Melody approached her. So I say that to say, it's the recording of it, that part, it's just so weird to me, especially if you're that chummy to do it. But yeah, that was the reveal. And so I have a feeling, of course, Keke will go live on Instagram to give her response to the text thread and the audio. And I know that some people may feel like she's probably fired from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Just seeing how Carlos, he seems to, like, enjoy the mess. I could totally see him booking Keke for season 7 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And he'll just watch to see how she navigates through all of these broken relationships. And then, if that's true, if I'm correct, and she'll be cast on season 7 of Love and Marriage Huntsville, then the blogger will be discussed at some point, to some extent, even if his name isn't said, because that'll be a huge part of her having to navigate through all of these broken relationships amongst the cast. And also, another reason why I think that she will be cast for season 7 is because I actually made a video earlier this evening about Carlos supporting a new castmate of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And it turns out that she created a troll account where she dragged the cast of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It gets really deep on how they found out, on how Heather was able to figure it out and discover what Monica has done. But Carlos actually calls her a blogger and supports her. And I made the video, I pulled a soundbite where he is subliminally shading Ariane and Martell while supporting Monica from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, because he made the video just a day after Martell went ham in his comment section. All right, so definitely check that video out. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I always appreciate your support. It means so much to me. Please hit the like button on this video. I would greatly appreciate that as well. And please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit if you have not already done so. You all have a great night, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.